What is up, everyone? Welcome to the UnderDog Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Nolan Skeen, alongside Antonio Fiore Salestrina. Gentlemen, Thanksgiving week is over. How do we feel?
Guten Morgen.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag?
Well, it's morning in Germany, so Guten Morgen.
No, it's
All right.
not. It's like midnight there.
Like 7 or 8 hours ahead of us.
7, 6 actually. I think.
I think England is 6, so that would probably make Germany at least an hour or 2 later.
Oh, you know your geography. How cool.
Okay.
It's actually
I know you can see it in your head too.
I know where Germany is. Come on.
No,
Do you
I
know-
know. Like, I understand, like, when I'm saying that, the way I picture that in my head, you picture that. Like, not everybody does that.
Do you know where Yugoslavia is?
Yes, I do.
Do you know where?
Dude.
Do you know where the Titanic is?
I don't know. I could probably
What do you
vaguely
mean? He
point
was
out the
on the Titanic.
Yeah, Antonio just was a respawn from the Titanic like a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a ghost from it.
Ooh.
All right, let's start with Turkey Day. Let's go in chronological order as we go through these games. What do we think of the slate on Turkey Day? The Bears just bared on the last play. That was one of those moments where I was sitting in my cousin's living room, and no one was really paying attention to the game except me, obviously, and everyone else is like talking. And then it got like real quiet when the last play happened, and he goes down, and then the clock just keeps running, and it gets to like 20 seconds, and I sit up and like couldn't control myself and very loudly go, "You're gonna call the timeout, right?" And everyone just stops and like looks at me. I'm like, I'm pointing at the TV like, who else isn't like seeing this shit? And like everyone was like, what the fuck? As I'm sitting there like off the pen watching this game, like it was so funny.
I mean, it's one.
Are you
one of those
holding a
things
green
where-
bean, Sal?
Huh?
Are you holding a green bean?
I'm holding a green pen. I don't really know. It was right next to me, and now I'm
It
just
looks
holding
like a
it.
green bean.
No, it was one of those things where like if you're gonna like be on the hot stove hot seat as a coach, like you're gonna pull that, you're gonna lose the game with no timeout, and the clock runs. Like you might as well just not even like talk to the team after the game. Like you're just done after that. Like that was some of the dumbest coaching at the end of a game I've seen in quite a while. That's almost like the Dak sliding down and the clock running out. Like
Yeah, this was worse.
It was pathetic. Yeah, it was worse. It honestly was worse.
I don't know. I still think that he did that on purpose. He wanted to get fired. I feel like that's like that is the only explanation in my head that I can rationalize the fact that they did not call a timeout. Once you see it go, it was what, 30 seconds? Like
yeah,
once it gets past 15 and it's down to 10 and he still doesn't, how do you not call it? How do you not just call the timeout? Be like, whoa, let's chill. Like that is so many seconds that they just did nothing.
Or he just was panicking. He's like, come on, snap it. And then for like 5 seconds, he just wasn't snapping it. And then it was like too late at that point. I don't know.
Because a lot of people initially after the game, because I do what I did for anything when something like that happens, I go straight to Twitter. And like the initial response was like people blaming Caleb Williams. I'm like, how the fuck can you blame Caleb Williams on that? He's not the decider of when to call timeouts late in the game. He's in there trying to get the play, trying to get it right. How the fuck can you blame it on him?
No, you can't.
It was up until the press conference afterwards, and then everyone was piling on Matt Eberflus. No one batted an eye to Caleb Williams after that.
I mean, Antonio, is he not a horrible coach? He's proven that over 2 years. Like,
Yeah, some people thought he was a wizard at first, or he had like some insane potential, and I'm like, where do you see that?
yeah,
They were like, "Oh, this team's future looks so bright." Like, why?
He's done nothing. He's like Mike McCarthy. He's done nothing but make dumb decisions since he became head coach.
Yep.
How he handled the whole Justin Fields thing, and now moving on to Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams is actually good, and your team is like not dog shit. You're actually moving in the right direction. and then you still are doing this stuff, and it's like, okay, you are clearly the problem.
Is that a
Detroit-
little? Oh, go ahead.
I mean, Detroit maybe should have like also won that game by more though. Like at the beginning,
Definitely.
it looked like it was just going to be another game where Detroit rolls over a team, but then it was just field goal after field goal at one point.
I could argue
Shot
that
up the
Detroit
cannon.
could have won by 30, or the Bears could have easily won that game. That's how.
Oh
that
yeah.
This is a little off topic, but if you had to rank the 4 rookie QBs right now, how are you ranking them?
I'd probably put.
I mean, obviously, Bo Nix is one.
I put
don't think
Jaden
he's
Daniels.
joking.
Jaden Daniels.
think you're
I don't think
joking.
he's joking either. That's why I laughed. I put Jaden
I
Daniels.
forgot about Jaden Daniels. I'm sorry.
Jaden Daniels, and then probably Bo Nix, and then Caleb Williams, Drake May. That's probably the way I'd go.
Well, Drake, yeah, and I think
they've all been good though.
Drake, May, and Williams are close. They've all been good.
They've all been good. They all could easily be. I mean, they just showed last night Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels numbers next to each other, and they're almost exactly the same.
Like if you were to, like if ESPN were to put out a graphic or something like that with that exact thing, and it said top 4 rookie QBs like ranked right now so far, whoever's ranked 4th, it's misleading.
Right.
Because it's going to look bad. People will be like, oh, how could you put Drake May at 4 or Caleb Williams at 4? And it's like, well, they're all playing really good, and 2 of them are on playoff teams.
Yeah. I mean, I'm somewhere in between. I still think Jaden's 1 based on how he's played, but I'm somewhere in between saying Drake May might be ahead of Bo Nix or
Bo
not.
Nix?
Yeah.
I wouldn't argue it.
I mean, I think you could
definitely
point to his yards per
games.
carry. He's gonna break Michael Vick's record. Like that's crazy. The way he's played, I think I would have to say, like in terms of circumstances, I think my list is really good because, you know, the Pats had probably the least expectations out of those 4 teams. You could probably argue that the Commanders didn't really have any expectations coming into this year. It's hard to say that looking at them now, but that's definitely what the consensus was.
No, but I don't think
nobody expected the Commanders to be where they are right now.
No, nobody thought they'd be a playoff team. I don't know how many people were saying they were going to be like a contender for pick number 1.
No,
I didn't think
I
they were
agree.
that great, I don't think, but yeah, no.
No, I probably said they'd be a 5 or 6 win team.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so I think like it just in terms of that alone, like, and then probably if you asked 100 people, 100 of them would say, out of these QBs, where do you think Bo Nix would be ranked? All of them would say last.
Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna be good.
I think he's been probably the biggest surprise, I'd say,
100%.
In terms of like expectations. Like he's actually been very good, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how he's played.
Game last night was just ridiculous.
And I think like it goes in terms of like he was in college for so long. Like he was in college.
Well, I also think having Sean Payton helps too.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
But
I mean, when you're at 2 programs like Auburn and Oregon, you're getting so much good quality football under your belt. So
that's exactly what I was saying about Nix. Like, yeah, like I thought he was great on Oregon or whatever, but I just never believed in him as an NFL prospect because he had been in college for so long.
Yeah.
Like he could have been drafted in like 2020 or something like that. Maybe not that early, but still, like he was a freshman in like 19.
He was a freshman when we started the
maybe
podcast.
18. Yeah.
Literally.
Because he was good at Auburn
beat
too.
Alabama one year.
I think that was his freshman year.
Yeah, it was his freshman year. They beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl, and Alabama did not play in the SEC championship. So when they got in as the 4 in the playoff, people were like, "Oh, that's so stupid! It's rigged for these SEC teams." And then Alabama went and won it because they were the best team.
Right. Let's go to the Friday game.
Yeah.
I think the ending of that game also was really faded. The way that
the Chiefs.
The way that played out, it's actually hysterical that the Chiefs just keep doing this every week, and it's like they just keep finding a different way to piss people off, and we've said this all year, but like it's still amazing that it's week 14, 13 that they are still doing it. They're still finding different ways. It's like, I never in a million years would have thought that that's how that game would have ended if you had told me that. I'm
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
there's no way.
they're just not gonna in the playoffs. They're not gonna be able to get away with this like week after week after week.
The more this
Unless
goes on, Antonio, the harder I am. Like, the harder it is for me to believe that.
That's like more PTSD though. If they keep playing these stupid ass games, it's not gonna happen in the playoffs. They're not
no,
gonna do this to the Ravens and the Bills and the whoever 3 consecutive weeks.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree
like,
with you. I agree with you.
I just think like it's the more it gets closer and they just keep doing this, the more weary I am that like they're just gonna lose and they're just gonna lose like the first game of the playoffs, whichever one it be.
Might.
But yeah, of course they might, and trust me, I would love for that to happen, for them to just get smoked in the divisional game or whatever. But like,
not having the bye is their biggest enemy.
They are a terrible team. They're not good
for an early playoff loss. Like, he's literally down in the AFC Championship every year of being a quarterback. Like, he's gonna lose an early one.
I really hope so, man.
Dude, it happened to freaking Tom for like a few years, and then they got back
for 10 years
until them. Yeah,
it was for 10 years that they didn't do this.
No, but I mean, like, they still went to like a Super Bowl in 2007. They were still dominant, but then like 9, 10.
Yeah, I mean, they went to 2 Super Bowls in that time, but like it's, I don't know. It's just like, it's insane how it doesn't matter who they play, they just figure it out and win in different ways.
It's frustrating. It's very frustrating watching it, because it's like this team shouldn't be winning every single 3-point game, and yet somehow, some way, they come out on top, and it's like, how.
And the Raiders played it so well up until that point. Up until that point, they played it so well.
And then they could have called a false start, but instead they called a legal shift or whatever, and then that's what
the one ref that came in and jumped in was calling a false start. So I don't know how you get from that to a legal shift.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. And then it's like, of course he fumbles it. Of course.
Yeah.
The silent count. If you go back and look, they were doing the silent count the whole game. And for whatever reason, the center just decided to snap the ball. No one gave him any indication. It was right when they came out of the huddle, so I don't know what the fuck happened there. But people seem to like Antonio Pierce, though. Is he on the hot seat at all?
He should be.
I feel like the consensus I'm seeing is that people like him, and they're not really putting him at fault for all this.
I feel like if they don't find a guy as a head coach that they really think is going to bring them to the next level, they'll probably just stay with him. Like, I don't think they're going to fire him because they think he's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, because the players probably, honestly, the players probably love him.
I think, yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, the players do love him. And I guess you can't really put this all on him with what's happened to them in the past few years. Like, but
no,
they do.
It's not like they have no future.
Yeah, they definitely need to step it into gear, though, if they're going to, like, cash in on the fact that Max Crosby is one of the craziest defenders the NFL's ever seen. They have to really start to capitalize on that, and I feel like their offense is just always lagged behind. All right, let's move on to Sunday. Where do you guys want to start?
We can officially write the obituary for the Cincinnati Bengals season.
Yeah, I think so too.
No, it's literally over at this point.
We're so stupid. We're so stupid.
One of our worst predictions on the podcast, and all three of us had them going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, yes, and also like every week we were just like, oh, the Bengals are going to cover this week against this good team because that's just what's going to happen because they need to make the playoffs.
I mean, it's
we weren't the only ones doing that, dude.
It's not based on nothing. I mean, they've done it. Twice? They've started out shitty and then ended up being good at the end and making the playoffs.
I really liked the Bengals last week, and I gotta tell you, in hindsight, that's one of the worst lines the NFL sportsbooks I've ever saw.
I should have listened to my heart, because my heart was telling me Steelers, yeah, because you love the Steelers, you pick them every week. But I just in my head, I was like, that's not the right pick. This is never the right pick. Not even for the Bengals. I'm like, this is never the right pick for the Steelers in this situation in all these years. And
when when that line comes out and you see Bengals -3, it's either a Bengals ass kicking or the Bengals get smoked. And 9 times out of 10, they're probably getting smoked. Like,
And I would argue that they didn't really get smoked. I mean, they lost by 6. It's not like it was.
They never really had a chance once they lost the lead. There was a pick and 2 fumbles. They were down a touchdown for most of the second half. Like, at no point did it really seem like Cincinnati was going to win that game.
It was just like playing catch up.
But that's still not. That's I would say that's still not smoked though. If they had a chance to be in the game, smoked is you have 0 chance.
It seemed after they lost the lead, they had 0 chance.
Seemed like it.
Sure.
But they didn't. They lost by less than a touchdown.
They were up 10 with like 5 minutes left.
I get it. I don't think they got smoked. But that line was fucking ridiculous.
If the Steelers win every game before this Chiefs game, man, they're gonna really hate that loss to the Browns they had a couple weeks ago, because that would have been, if the Chiefs also don't lose another game, that could have been a potential 1 seed matchup.
Well, now it's looking like Buffalo could get it.
I think, we're going to have to start giving some serious respect to the Steelers, though.
Oh, dude, they're obviously a really good team.
Yeah, they're insane.
And yeah, well, Buffalo's going to get the 1 seed if the Steelers beat them. I mean, the Chiefs play the Chargers this weekend.
Steelers Buffalo or AFC Championship.
It just doesn't sound right to me.
That'd be a really good fucking game, though.
I think I would. It just doesn't sound right to me, because I'd be so happy about it.
Would you root for the Bills? You would still root for the Bills.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'd hardcore root for the Bills.
Definitely.
Steelers Eagles Super Bowl.
Wow. Sad.
All right, where else should we go? I want to say this too. We touched a little bit on it. This was probably Drake May's best game I've seen, and the Patriots' best game that I've seen. Even though they lost, and they lost in heartbreaking fashion, I think that this altogether was their best game.
I agree.
I'm happy they lost still, because I just want them to keep losing, get a higher draft pick. But I'm happy with what I've seen.
Who do you want to be head coach next year?
John
Great
Gruden.
question.
Bill?
John Gruden.
Bill comes back? No. I want John Gruden.
Dude, imagine that. I don't think they'd do that though.
I don't think they get rid of Gerard Mayo, man. I mean, I think John Gruden in the next couple of years will probably get a head coaching job for sure. If not next year, the year after.
Am I crazy for saying Cliff Kingsbury? Is that like an absurd take?
I mean, I said that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, like someone like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be Kingsbury. Like Ben Johnson would be number 1 for sure. Like
we need just like an offensive-minded coach.
Yeah, I don't want no more defensive-minded head coach. I'm tired of that. I'm so sick and tired of that.
Yeah, like we have some good young pieces. Get a good up-and-coming defensive coordinator.
He's a defensive-minded head coach that has got his defense like shit on 3 times on a game-winning drive. Like,
yeah,
they never get to stop when they need it.
And definitely not challenging that play will haunt them.
Did you see that or no?
If the Giants fire Dable, are they going to hire Dable, dude?
I would like that. Former Patriot. I would really like that.
Please, God, no. I don't like Dable.
Oh, I love Dable.
Oh, dude. Listen, his offense wasn't very good with Daniel. Obviously, like, Josh Allen's way better than Daniel Jones, but the kind of offense he wants to run isn't the kind of offense the Giants were made for, which was like dink and dunk and like
here's what I'm thinking.
Down and shit. He wants to run a big offense, flying offense, and Drake May would allow him to do that.
Sal, how do you feel about this? John Gruden, head coach, Brian Daboll, offensive coordinator, and then and then
Can I
Mike.
have the pen once you're done?
Yes.
And Brian Flores at D coordinator.
No.
Honestly, for defensive head coach, I wouldn't mind Flores.
I've always liked Brian Flores.
That's someone else who I wouldn't mind.
When the Giants hired Dable, and I didn't really know who he was, I was really upset that they didn't go with Flores.
Well, they also Tua also said he was like the meanest person that ever lived. So like that's strange.
Yeah. They had a winning record when the Dolphins had a winning record that year that he got fired.
That was
And
the
I'm
year
pretty
that
sure.
they lost 7 in a row and then won 7 in a row.
Yes, they finished like 9-8, and I think Tua was out like half the year.
Yeah. Yeah. That was when they isn't that when they had Michael White?
Michael.
Yeah, probably.
I think that was when he was still on the Jets.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Matt Moore.
I don't know. All right. Let's move on. Where else should we go? What other games you guys want to talk about? There's a lot more to talk
Do you want
about.
to talk about Baltimore and Eagles?
Yeah. I think
I mean,
that was a decent game.
it was a good game for a while, and then eventually, like, I don't know, the last quarter, you just kind of knew that the Eagles were going to win.
It sucks how inconsistent the Ravens are lately.
Are they a good team?
That's what I'm saying. Like I have no idea. I would like to say yes, but
they're a
their
good
record
team,
doesn't
but-
say that they're a Super Bowl contender. The record
Is it-
says we'll barely squeak in a wild card, but I really like the Ravens.
They're still really dangerous.
They're still really
Well,
good.
I'm not. I don't want to host a playoff game and have to have Baltimore come in. That sucks.
Yeah.
But again, I'm gonna go back to this again. Justin Tucker. Did he cost them this game?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he missed a field goal and an extra point. That's 4 points right there, and they lost by 5. It's like, at what point are we just gonna be like, hey, what are we doing here? I know they definitely asked him. I think they asked him right after the game. They're like, are there any plans to move off from Justin Tucker? And of course, John Harbaugh was like, immediately no. Definitely no. I don't think you move off of him right now, but after the season, you definitely have to visit this. It's a problem.
I mean, why not get rid of him now then?
Because there's no one else that can come in, and you need to have like a plan to replace him. I feel like.
I bet there's 10 kickers on free agency that are decent.
Yeah, you could find someone.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt that. But it's just like it's unwanted attention that you don't want on your team right now.
You should have Chris Nager.
That was a little too close.
That's his name.
That was a little too close.
That's literally his name.
I literally might have to bleep that out. That was a little too close.
Do you want me to send you a screenshot of him, dude?
No. I believe you. I'm just saying, if someone's listening to this. Yeah, I don't doubt that there's a kicker that they can get. Oh my god, bro. He's
a real person. Like,
listen, I didn't doubt you. And I don't doubt that there are kickers that they could get.
Oh,
it's just imagine the
beautiful.
shitstorm. Imagine the shitstorm that you get if you cut Justin Tucker right now.
No, I mean, I don't know that
Josh
there would
Brown.
be. I don't know that there would be a shitstorm.
I think there'd be a shitstorm.
No, I think people would just be like, "Yeah, he's missed a lot of kicks at this point." Like,
I don't know. It's like
the Bengals should have cut McPherson like 4 weeks ago.
I mean, yeah, but I mean the Bengals and Ravens are in a little different.
Imagine a cornerback gave up like 80-yard touchdowns like 4 weeks in a row. Like they'd be off the squad instantly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, all these close games that they've played and he's missed a kick that probably they could have won. Like this week, definitely, they probably could have won with all the points that he missed out on.
Well, the craziest thing too is like the AFC playoffs are pretty much like locked in. I don't know that I think the Colts are the only team on the outside that can really make it out.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, I think Miami still could technically make it.
Yeah.
Just them and the Colts, pretty much.
Miami's not making the playoffs.
No, but they could. They're in the hunt, as they would say.
Yeah.
It's always like that. It's always the NFC is always like so many teams could get in, and then the AFC is always like jockeying for seeds at the end of the year. So, I mean, there's like literally Places 4 through 7 all
Dude,
have
I
eight,
was
all have
so
8 wins.
how pissed was I after the Giants and Cowboys game, Sal? Like that I bet the Giants after like I was saying Cowboys are gonna kill them all
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
And then like I heard like 3 people in our group chat be like, "Oh, it's the Giants today," and I was like, "Oh, Drew Lock started. He might have a big game. I'm gonna bet him." And then I'm like,
Why did I take the Giants?
"Yes, but all of all of them are so fucking cold right now."
Oh yeah, dude.
And
The
I'm like,
funny.
dude, anytime I let you guys sway me, it's a goddamn loss. So then I was on Green Bay like the whole week, and I was like, dude, am I really about to bet Miami? Because I'm like, eventually they have to,
Be
eventually, like,
right.
so what? Like, I'm actually gonna bet against them now, and then they're gonna win tonight because fuck me.
Yeah.
But I did end up betting Green Bay anyway, thank God.
Lucky fuck.
Yeah, that one tasted good.
I bet it did with that fumble to start the fucking game, like a joke.
Yeah,
So stupid.
I think Green Bay is another team that I've been very impressed with these past few weeks. They've it's
They
kind of like
just-
the beginning of the year. They were kind of a little bit all over the place in terms of like, are they a good team? Are they just a middle of the pack team? And I feel like these last few weeks they've really just like,
do we think they're better than the Vikings? Because if
Yes.
they're better than,
Yeah.
so they're the third best team in the NFC.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Lions, Eagles, them.
Yeah, and then I mean,
Yeah,
I
100%.
just it's kind of biased to the fact that like I just think Minnesota are frauds, but they just keep winning. So they're kind of like the Chiefs, where
yeah,
it's
that
like they
was
just keep
annoying.
winning. I don't know how they keep winning, but they just keep doing it. So, yeah, and they won a very close. Arizona should have definitely won that
I
game.
was very annoyed that Arizona lost.
Yeah,
'Cause
Yeah,
I want them to like put their foot down as the first place team in that.
I don't
division.
think. I think it's over at this point.
I mean, it's not like they're a game back, but
No,
I don't see it being
but-
them.
Yeah, I'll read you the rest of their schedule. Hold on. Home against Seattle this week. That's about as big of a game as you can get. Home against New England, at Carolina, at Rams, home against San Fran. That's actually not too bad.
I think Antonio was talking about Minnesota though.
Oh, Minnesota, sorry.
No, I was talking about the Cardinals.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, Minnesota's not winning that division. Imagine if they do, dude.
I mean, I guess if Arizona beats Seattle this week, they have fate in their hands, but they really need to win this
Oh,
week.
dude.
Yeah,
The
I mean the NFC
Lions-
West and NFC South are crazy right now.
The
Yes,
Lions
the Lions
play
and
the
the Packers
Bills
play. Oh,
in
wait.
2 weeks. Well, they play the Lions. The Packers play this weekend.
Yeah,
The Lions play the Bills, bro.
that's crazy.
The Lions and Packers
Minnesota's
play in 2
not
days.
out of it. Minnesota could definitely still win this division.
Oh,
Minnesota's
yeah.
not winning that division.
I don't think they are, but they definitely can.
They can, but it's
They do play the Lions again, so but like they
although
play Falcons
if
this week, they probably win that.
if the Packers beat the Lions, this division does get really sticky.
Yes, because then the Packers are also in the mix to win the division.
Yeah,
So
it's kind
there's
of
that
nuts.
too.
They're the best division ever. But yeah, I mean, you look at that NFC South and you look at the NFC West, you're like,
Oh yeah,
who is going to win
Packers-
these divisions, dude?
Packers have the easiest schedule out of all 3 of those teams remaining as well.
Especially
Obviously,
especially the
Lions this
NFC
week.
West. If you look at the Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers, and Rams, I feel like any one of those teams could like get a couple of lucky wins and win this division.
Yeah, I'll be so annoyed if San Fran just like wins out and makes the playoffs.
They definitely could. I mean, they've done this
They definitely
before with
could.
the injuries that they have. They've won with injuries before. It wouldn't be a surprise. And then like if the Rams come and win the division, you wouldn't be surprised. And if the Cardinals win I think if the Cardinals
I'd
won
be
the
fine
division,
with the Rams though.
it'd be the
I
biggest
don't
surprise.
think they are.
But either them or the Seahawks, if either one of those teams wins the NFC West, you could probably classify it as a surprise. But like, I don't know.
Dude, there's a few weeks where I was like the Rams, and now I'm like, oh, they kind of suck.
They do kind of suck.
They're
They're
gonna have
like
a big test this week.
they're like good, but they suck. If that makes sense. Like they're like one of those teams that they could beat any other team, but they can also lose to any other team at the same time.
Definitely,
Like,
their defense is horrible.
their defense is really bad.
All right, let's get to the game. Let's get to the game last night. I mean, what happened?
Jameis Winston.
That
So I
game was
I felt
insane.
I went to bed at like probably when there was 10 minutes left in the third quarter. And I thought my fantasy season was over because I didn't think Nick Chubb was going to get 4 points because he had one at that point. So I was depressed and I went to bed. And I looked at 3
So
a.m.
your Twitter? Is
Yeah.
that what I hear?
No, I
That's what
also
I heard.
didn't want to be up till midnight. But yeah, I saw the Jameis stat line. That's ridiculous. It's the most Jameis game ever.
I mean, it's just par for the course. It's like every game he's in, it's just got to be like a crazy, like down to the wire. Like either team has like a chance to win. It's like he's like a movie. Every game that Jameis Winston plays, it's a movie. It's a spectacle. Like he's just an enigma. I don't know how to
He's
describe it with
must
him.
watch NFL
He's
football
must watch TV.
on
That
a
game last
team
night.
on a
I only
team that
watched
was
part of
so
it.
bad.
Oh my god, it was ridiculous.
A team that was so bad that no one wanted to watch. Now you put Jameis in there. They get a couple wins, and now it's like I can't take my eyes off this guy.
And like I can't lie, like if I don't know if like the Chiefs play them, but like the Chiefs should go into Cleveland, and I could see Jameis Winston beating them. Like he could
This
beat any
week
team.
they got a big test this week. We'll see if it continues or not. But I mean, they're 12-point underdogs this week, or
Going
six and a half.
Pittsburgh?
6.5. They're 6.5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, okay, it's a divisional matchup. We'll see what happens. But it's like that pick he threw at the end of the game was the funniest. That was such a Jameis way for that game to end.
I can't believe it was that bad.
It was that bad. Well, first the pick six he threw when they were down 2, you're like, holy shit. And then they go and they get back down. You're like, okay, maybe they'll make this like interesting for the last few seconds if they score here and get a 2-point. And then he throws probably the worst interception I've ever seen. Throws it straight to the linebacker. And if the linebacker doesn't catch it, the guy behind him is clamps on whatever receiver he was trying to throw to, so he might even pick it. And then on top of that, if it wasn't a linebacker, it probably would have been another pick six. He would have thrown 3 pick sixes and had 4 touchdowns and 400 yards or whatever it was.
It's the full Jameis experience right there. That's crazy.
He's unbelievable. He is like what is he compared to? What would you compare him to? To anything? Is he like the Happy Gilmore of fucking football? Like
That's a good one. Like trying to think of one.
there's
I don't
always
know.
these guys. There's always these guys.
There's no real like Jameis Winston anywhere. Like Jameis Winston is just Jameis Winston. Like,
He's one of one.
he's one of one. He truly is one of one.
Like people look forward to like seeing
He
his
gets
like
weirder every
pregame
year.
speech. They look forward to it. They look forward to his like whatever press conference he does after the game. They're always interviewing. I need him mic'd up for every single game. I want a video on YouTube every single week of Jameis Winston mic'd up.
Honestly, just Jameis Winston daily life might be worth it. Like
He needs a
pay-per-view for
reality
Jameis
TV show.
Winston. Yeah.
They need to do a Hard Knocks Jameis Winston edition. They did you see like last week for the snow game when or maybe it was the week before when he was trying to get him to jump off sides and he's like doing the cadence. He's like, huh, and he's like, someone jump off sides, damn.
I didn't see that.
That's so him, dude.
That's great.
All right, let's move
That
to
dude
this.
at
Let's move
home,
to
he's
this week.
probably just like rock and roll McDonald's.
I can't imagine what his like daily routine is. It must be so insane.
Does Jameis Winston hit the pen?
No, I think he's very
No.
religious.
Yeah,
No
that
pen
dude,
hitting?
No.
like recently, like more than ever, like every time there's a microphone in front of him, he's just God and Jesus right
Yeah,
now.
he does talk a lot about God.
But like all of a sudden,
Yeah.
that's been like his thing this year.
He's just awesome, dude. He's awesome. All right, let's move on to this week. Starting off with a banger of a game. The Green Bay Packers head to the Detroit Lions. Detroit's -3.5 at home, over under 51.5. I like this line. I think this line is very accurate.
I feel like me and Antonio are having a little stare down right now.
You guys playing footsie?
No, I didn't even hear what you said. I was completely
He didn't
zoned
say
out.
He didn't say anything. Me?
On the count of 3, we're making our pick. Green Bay or Detroit. 1, 2.
Oh, whoa, that's the Thursday night game?
Yes.
That
Yes.
sucks, dude.
1, 2, 3. Green Bay.
Detroit.
Fuck you.
Wow. Wait,
Fuck
why do you
you.
why do you say that sucks? That it's a primetime game?
No, I just wish it was Sunday. Like, why does it have
Why?
to be these teams playing each other, but it's on a short week?
It doesn't
doesn't
matter.
fucking-
It's not a short week for the Lions or the Packers. They played Thursday, dummy.
Oh,
It's not a short week actually ever. So you're on the Lions, Sal's on the Packers.
I think I am.
Switcheroo?
Ooh. He doesn't do these very often.
No.
Oh, I thought he was gonna do it, dude.
Who are you on?
The Detroit Lions.
Damn.
I think they keep winning.
Yeah, dude.
not that-
that's what it comes down to. That is what it comes down to me.
And not that Green Bay's not good. It's a toss up in my mind, but like I don't know. Detroit has just been so
3.5
good.
is a tough spread, though.
I was just gonna say this
3.5
game
is
feels
tough.
This game feels like a 3 either way. I feel like this game comes down to a field goal at the end.
Yeah, I think.
And
I gotta stick
that
with
makes me want to
Detroit.
switch because I could definitely see, like, I could totally see
be like
Detroit winning
27
a field goal in the end.
27-24 Detroit. Like that's literally what it's gonna be.
Yeah, but then like, oh god, if they're down 4.
I feel like this line and this over under are so accurate.
What's the over under?
51.5.
27-24 would be like the perfect score. The under would hit by half a point and the spread would hit by half a point.
Is there any realm where this is like a last night type of game, or like a Cincinnati Pittsburgh type game?
To be honest, I think if it goes in extreme, it goes the other way and it's like 10-7 or like 7-3.
This does seem like it has the most playoff
Yeah.
atmosphere to it.
I'm gonna switch. I agree with Nolan.
Wow.
I think Detroit keeps winning, but I think it's really close. I think it's a really fucking good game.
So Antonio's on Green Bay. I'm on the Lonely Island.
Switch.
I'll take it.
But yeah, not in my like normal enthusiastic Green Bay way.
Yeah, I mean, I think Green Bay's been rolling. Detroit's obviously been rolling. I mean, Detroit, shaky game against Chicago, for sure. I think a little bit was they took their foot off the gas in the second half. Obviously, I think they're full bore for this game. Full
Both teams
throttle.
have really good momentum, but like I just think Detroit is like, they love that they're the talk of the town and they have all of the momentum in the world right now.
For sure.
They've just been killing teams. They didn't kill a team last week, but they've still been winning.
Also, too, to mention the slate this weekend, I love this slate this weekend.
This is a good set of games.
Yeah, I've said that before. It is a very good set of games.
Sunday, 1:00. The Las Vegas Raiders head to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is -6.5, over under 46.5. When I said this was a good slate, I did not mean this game. I'm just gonna take Tampa
I can't
Bay.
wait for this game.
I'm gonna take Tampa Bay and move on.
Yeah. Do the same for me.
Sure.
Mike Evans needs what, 468?
468. Was the number. Yeah.
Think
That'd
he
be
does
good
it?
for me.
Think he does it or what?
Yes.
479.
He has to if I do anything in fantasy. What does he need? 478?
479.
Oh, then he's literally gonna get 480.
Probably.
He'll get it by a yard. He'll get like 1,001 yards.
Yeah,
He's great. I love
he'll
him.
need like 65 going into the last game, and he'll
You know
get
who
66.
he is, Antonio? You know who his perfect? Maybe not perfect comp is, but you know who he is in a different sport? Joey Votto. That's who Mike Evans is.
Interesting.
Mike Evans is he's just like the nice, likable guy on like the obscure team that like nobody really talks about. Like I feel like who hates Joey Votto? Who hates Mike Evans? Like I feel like they're just universally liked.
And they were good until they were old. Until Joey Votto was like really old. But yeah.
Joey Votto never won a ring either, but
He's
Oh, yeah,
like
Mike Evans did.
yeah, he's very good. He's like Ray Bork in my mind.
Mike Evans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who I would compare him to.
Yeah.
Like everyone was so happy to see him win. Like at
I don't
the
know how you
Lakers.
couldn't be. Like in college, he was really good. In the pros, he's always been good.
He's
like,
always been,
1,000
and like everyone always says how great of a guy he is too. Like,
yeah,
he definitely is like one of those things where it's like just a guy you love to see win.
and he plays Fortnite.
Yeah, I hope he breaks the record for sure.
Did you guys see that?
That the OG Fortnite season is coming by Friday. I know. I can't wait.
Sal loves Fortnite.
The Prime series called Game 7, where there's like 5 different like documentaries on 5 different Game 7s.
No, I don't see that.
Oh no, it's cool. We watched 2 of them. We watched the second one, which was 1987 Oilers versus Flyers. So 2 of them are hockey ones, 2 of them are baseball ones, and one's a basketball one. So the one we watched so far was really cool. I don't know.
I still think, I may be biased, but I still think the hockey NHL Game 7 is the most intense Game 7.
100%.
Yeah. Baseball
is insane.
Yeah, baseball's
but it's those two. I'd give the edge to hockey.
I think it's just the fact that like the reason baseball is close is because you very rarely see them anymore. Like they're more rare than a hockey Game 7. I feel like hockey Game 7s happen a lot more often.
You're living and dying by every pitch.
Exactly. It's a different kind of Game 7 because the way baseball is built is like to where you're waiting for the pitches. It's just like the suspense is more insane. In hockey, it's just like, when the Bruins are in the Game 7, I'm just fucking freaking out the entire time.
Hockey is an anxiety attack.
That's what I mean. I'm just worried
every
all
April I go through the most cardio workout ever. Watching the Bruins play playoff hockey.
Like Game 7, it's literally like, all right, they have the puck in the zone, and you're just shitting your pants until the puck is cleared the whole time.
The Game 7 that they played against the Leafs this year, I was so tense, so unbelievably tense. And the fact that they won it so quick in overtime, I was like, thank God.
With the Leafs too, it's just like we have that feeling where, all right, is this going to be the year where we finally lose? Because because it has to happen eventually to the Leafs.
That's what I was thinking. I said that in the beginning of the series. I was like, this is going to go Game 7, and the Leafs are going to win. No, I thought this is the only time that I specifically was like, this might be the year that they win. Every other year, I was like, no, the Bruins are winning. And I was like, this goes Game 7. I feel like the Leafs are going to win, especially how the fact that like the Bruins went up 2-0. And I was like, oh man, the Bruins they might sweep them. I was like, we might even not get a anxiety attack for this series. And then of course it just happens. It's literally fate, but yeah, that's a cool documentary though. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, no, I think you'd like it.
All right, next game. The Cleveland Browns head to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are -6.5. Over under 43.5. Sal's hawk-tuaing on that thing.
Is that a verb now?
It is now. I just made it.
Dude, we used to say that like
I thought you said we used to hawk-tua on that.
No, when we were like 12, we'd say that, but we'd say this kid we knew would go, hey, what sound does a Frenchman say when he spits?
Are you LeBron?
So,
that's a LeBron moment.
Do you know that meme where like it's Leonardo DiCaprio in that movie like pointing at the screen and he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Like I recognize that. That's what it was when I saw that Hawk-Tuah clip. I was like, hey, I know that.
All right, so who do you like in this game?
The Browns.
the Talk-Tuah podcast. Oh fuck! We just plugged them. God damn.
Should we reach out and ask if we can combine?
The collab that no one asked for.
Dude, what game are we talking about?
Steelers Browns.
Steelers Browns.
Steelers.
Browns.
Oh, 7.
6.5.
I have Browns, but Steelers win.
I I'm gonna have to take the Steelers here. I'm done picking against them. I think they're really good.
Nolan's a Packers and Steelers guy now.
I just auto.
Well, I've been the
Steelers
Packers the whole year.
For
Yeah,
whatever
no, you have
reason,
been.
I auto fade the Steelers every week, but I actually like them, enjoy watching them play. But I just fade like every week. I'm just like, now they're not covering this week.
I agree, and like I feel like I've just been biting my tongue all year, just picking against them. Yeah, and they're really good.
You know what, Nolan? Sometimes you have to have dedication. And to have dedication, you have to take teams like the Browns. So I'm taking the Browns this week.
Yeah. All right. Next game, whatever that means. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
You should go back through every single podcast and do like a mashup reel of how many times Sal has said, so I'm going with the Browns this week.
I'd have to go back through 134 episodes because he's done it every episode.
All right, so say 100 of those are us picking games. I've probably taken the Browns 92 times.
That's so
definitely.
funny.
Definitely 92
right?
times.
Like, it has to be like 90% of the time I take the Browns.
I mean, dude, if we were doing this through high school, it would just be like picking against the Browns every week because that's when they were winning like 2 games a year.
As soon as they got Odell Beckham, I'm like, oh, I'm going to pick them every week for the rest of my life. Like, that's just how it has to go. Like,
all right. The next game. Again, I wasn't talking about this game when I said the slate is really good. The Jacksonville Jaguars head to Tennessee, take on the Titans. Titans are minus 3.5 at home, over under 39.5.
Titans and move on.
I think every week you say these games, every week that you mention the game involving the Titans, I immediately roll my eyes.
What do you should we just skip it every week?
But yeah, Titans.
They're a disgraceful football team. Like, they just are.
The Titans are the
And
Jags.
now the Jaguars are without Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
How long is Trevor Lawrence out for? Probably this game at least, right?
At this point, just play Mac. Who cares?
He died. Trevor Lawrence got wrecked. That was a dirty hit.
He got wrecked.
Yeah, no, that was bad. I don't think the guy was trying to like. I really don't think he was trying to puff him up.
He has a history of being dirty.
I'm 50-50 on that
I
one.
know
I'm very. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but in slow-mo, it looks real bad. And I get it's like 0.1 seconds on the field.
In
but
full speed, it looks real bad.
Yeah, it's
because no one's tackling the quarterback like that. Like, you know, like everyone knows the rules by now.
True.
You can't like tackle, like, even if you're just running full speed at the guy, you're not going to tackle him like that. You're not going to dive at his waist.
Allen said no sliding for quarterbacks, and I kind of thought about that, and it feels like a good idea. Why give them the you know, if they want to run, you're taking the risk of running. I don't hate that.
I think it is a valid option. But like, I feel like it's just such like a reaction to like slide. Like, I feel like it's just like any player could do it.
I think you should be allowed to slide, but like if you slide, there's still a chance you get hit. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying you can't slide, but like, I feel like they baby the quarterbacks too much. I get that's the whole product of the NFL, but like, if you're going to take the ball as a quarterback and run outside of the pocket where all the linebackers and safeties can hit you, you're running into a risk. Like,
yeah, I definitely am not a fan of them giving the benefit to the offense in every situation, because it does, like, you're right. Like, Tom Brady talks about this, where it's like, if you throw to a guy over the middle of the field and he gets hit in the head, that's the quarterback's fault. It's not the defensive back's fault, because he has learned to tackle the guy. And of course, yeah, there's circumstances where a guy is dirty, and this is definitely one of those circumstances, but like, it gives the break to the offense, and they don't really have to conform to it. You know what I mean? Like,
the craziest part about this whole NFL, like everything about the NFL going like this, is that if you look at a game from like 03, 04, and like see the way these guys are hitting, like you would see that, and like every play you'd be like, that's a flag. That's a flag.
Yeah, and like it changes the way the offense plays.
Every hit was like one of those hits that you hear the crack.
Yeah, or they just go right with their helmet into them. Like,
and you know, the whole CTE thing happened, and on top of that, they need high scoring games. That's what they want. That's what they want in terms of viewership, and that's what they want in terms of, you know, these offensive stars. They want them to be able to shine, but like, I do think there needs to be a give and take.
What's the best NFL season you can remember, like growing up? Would you say?
Probably for me, 2018. I feel like I don't want to be biased and pick a season where the Patriots won the Super Bowl. Like I want to be Antonio. Do you remember when we had that class where we had that sports reporting class? It was that year.
Yeah.
Because I remember specifically like having Sal, you had Adam Rivers too. Remember? And like I had his class, and I watched the beginning of that Rams and Chiefs game, and I went home and watched the greatest, I think, Monday Night Football game I've ever seen.
Oh, dude, that was insane. Me and Mike were playing in fantasy that week, and we had, we both had players playing in that game. He had Pat Mahomes, and that was Pat Mahomes' like first insane year. And I remember, I think I had the Rams kicker, and that was it. I really didn't have anything, so it was pretty much like the game was set in stone.
No, you had
Mike.
One of you had Mahomes.
He had Mahomes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had anything going in that game, it was a kicker, because I was up by
I could
quite
so
a bit.
see you having Jared Goff.
But it was
You love
projected.
Jared
No,
Goff.
I had Drew Brees that year.
Of course.
I drafted him and Ben.
He's Jared Goff before Jared Goff.
But yeah, no. So it was projected to be close, and then all of a sudden at the end, he pulls away from me, and he's up by like a point or two, and that's pretty much it. As long as Pat Mahomes doesn't throw a pick, they get the ball back, and he throws a pick, and I win by like point something.
Didn't he throw 2 picks in 2 minutes? And
yes, that's what I needed him to do.
Yes.
So I was down by more than one.
And there was that fumble.
You were down like 3
or 4.
The fact that I remember this better than you is bad. You were down like 3.7. He throws a pick. They run the ball 3 times, punt it back to them, and then Mahomes throws a Hail Mary, and then he throws another pick, and you won by you won by like 0.2 or 0.3.
That game was one of the greatest regular season games ever.
Yeah. 100%.
That was probably the season that I remember most in terms of like really good games. If we're talking like just regular season, I feel like that was one that sticks out in my mind for sure.
I thought 2016 was a lot of fun, but I just the way it ended with the whole Giants boat thing.
That and you know which season I really like too was like 2013 when like Peyton was on Denver.
Yeah.
And like all that stuff, or was that the year before?
That was the blowout year, the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, that was the year before. I think that was the year before.
2013. So whatever year that was, whatever year.
2013 was the Cam fumble. He was still on the Broncos though.
No, 2015 was the Panthers year.
Oh.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. Whatever year that Peyton like broke that touchdown record. That was
12
also,
or 13.
That was also a really good year too. And then other than that, probably whatever year that Brady and Peyton were like going at each other when he was on the Colts.
Yeah.
Whatever year that was.
I wish I was older, so like I remembered it better. But I mean, the 2011 season for the Giants,
like 2011,
was, like,
2010,
insane. Like
2009.
It was just the Giants coming back in every single game, and it's like, oh, like what team are they going to go down to when we watch Eli light up a team in the fourth quarter again?
Yeah,
because it's pretty much how the whole season went.
I will say in terms of like recent years, I think this year has been really good. I think like it's definitely. I think it might be a little bit of like bias because last year was so bad. Like compared to last year, this year's way better. Just because last year there's so many injuries to like key players that it was like kind of garbage. And then on top of that, the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl the way that they did with Taylor Swift and that whole thing. Like I feel like that was like just a bummer.
I mean, there's that, and like having teams like the Packers and Steelers being like legitimate contenders again that does a lot for the sport because those are like big brand names.
Yeah, and like the
Especially
rookie QBs being like relatively decent helps.
Yeah, but like with the Steelers thing, like they obviously have a huge following like around the whole country. They've been good like the last 4 or 5 years or whatever, but like they've been boring. Now they're like good and exciting.
Yeah, I feel like this regular season got off to a slow start, but since probably like week 7, it's probably been like really good.
And everybody loves the Lions.
Yeah, you got the Lions that are good. You have all the teams in the NFC West are like jockeying for playoff spots. You got the Bills that are good. You got Chiefs are still good because you got to have that too. You got to have the team that everyone hates.
And and you got nobody paying attention to the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles
True.
are really good still. Like, you have all of these teams that are really good that should be good. And also you have the Chiefs like pissing everybody off because that was the Patriots for so long. You need to have that team that everybody hates.
Exactly. But hey, if the Chiefs end up losing in the playoffs, then we probably look back at this season like, man, that season was fun. The Chiefs went out that year, blah blah blah.
This regular season is going to be the worst if the Chiefs win again.
Oh yeah.
Horrible.
All right. Enough of that tangent. Let's move on. Actually, did I even pick in this game? I'll take the Titans.
Titans.
Are you taking the
Who'd you
Titans too,
take?
Antonio? I think you took
I
the
took
Titans.
the Titans.
All right. Carolina Panthers. Head to Philadelphia. Philadelphia's minus 12.5, over under 45.5.
Philadelphia. Get out of here.
I will say, though, Carolina has played a lot better these past few weeks.
I don't disagree, but this is a spot they just absolutely stomped on.
I-
Lost in overtime against a division rival last week. Jalen Hurts and Saquon are going to put up 400 yards rushing against this team. It's going to be too easy for them.
Sal, I completely disagree with you. I think
don't know.
Carolina.
It's not like the Chiefs game. I think they might get overwhelmed. Plus, they're at home. Like Eagles are at home.
I completely understand that. But when I looked at this game, and I've looked at how Carolina's played recently, and I've looked at how Philly's played recently, I think they cover. I think 12.5 is too many points. I get why the line is what it is, just in terms of like how these teams are. But like Carolina has played very well. Bryce Young has played very well. Adam Thielen has been really good. You got Chuba Hubbard, and now you have Jonathan Brooks, who's kind of like their rookie that's coming into his own. They're gonna giving him the ball a lot more. And on top of that, you have a defense that has been stingy. Like their defense has been very stingy these past few games.
I never would have thought you would be the one to back Bryce Young or the Panthers.
Give me Carolina. I like how they've played recently.
All of a sudden, like sometimes I have these weird things where like Bryce Young, I said he was going to be horrible coming out of college. I thought he was a terrible number 1 overall pick. And now I'm like kind of rooting for him to do good.
And listen, I'm not saying they're
hey,
good.
dude, if this game is close and they're not going to beat the Eagles, but say it's close and they almost beat the Eagles and Bryce is a good game, that does a lot for like him in his situation with this team. Because then there's the Chiefs that you almost beat, and then the Eagles that you almost beat.
I mean, look, I think he's already done enough to win them back over.
100%.
He's limited the turnovers. He's been playing very smart football, and their coaching staff is pretty good. I think it's so easy for them to just fall apart and just lose every single game. But the same thing with the Patriots and Carolina. Like they're competitive in every game. That's all you want to see. You want to see your young guys compete. You want to see this team not give up. And they're playing a lot of close games so that they have confidence. Like they're not just going to go in here and be like, oh, we're playing the Eagles, we're going to lose. They're actually coming in this game to win. And who knows? The Eagles could be caught off guard. They might take them lightly and they might, make this a close game for no reason. And that's what I think is going to happen. All right. The Atlanta Falcons head to Minnesota. Minnesota's minus 5.5, over under 46.5. God, Atlanta had a oopsie last week, huh?
Yeah, they kind of suck.
When me and Sal were fully invested in the fact that Kirk Cousins is good at 1:00, he goes and does that at 1:00, where he just he had a Jameis moment at the end of that game. That pick he threw was so bad at the end of that game.
Dude, they don't do it for me like at all.
It sucks because that they're pretty decent. It's not like they're like the worst team ever.
Dude, I just think it's so gross that they might win that division. Like I hate that.
Yeah, they're not out of it by any means.
I hate that.
I've heard some panic buzz with this lack of Kirk Cousins' mobility.
Could happen.
Oh, I forgot he's sitting around.
He's just waiting in the wings. That would be a nice little wild card for them to throw in. I'll be honest.
Is Baker out for the season?
No, is he?
I don't know.
What?
Dude. I mean, people got hit or something on Sunday, and I saw people's reaction being like, "Oh, dude, he's done. That's so sad." But maybe it wasn't that bad.
Baker Mayfield.
I didn't even see what it was.
I think he's like questionable for this. Like I don't think.
He came
Okay,
back
good.
in. He came back in
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
Never mind then. Good.
He did go into the medical tent, and Kyle Trask came in for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 plays, maybe not even.
Florida Gator legend Kyle
Yeah.
Trask.
And
He's
then
a
Baker
Florida
came
Gator
back in.
legend.
I don't know what that has to do with this game, but I don't know who you want to pick in this game. I'm guessing Minnesota based on
The
what
Gators,
you said.
dude.
This is a revenge game. I have to take the Falcons, but it's not the right pick.
It is a revenge game.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins doesn't do stuff like that.
I think as
Like,
long as they're in the hunt, I feel like
Cover.
he does though. Wasn't the you like that? Wasn't that?
That was after a playoff game. No,
Didn't he do that?
they did that after they clinched a playoff spot.
That was in Washington.
Oh, that was
was
in
in
Washington.
Yeah, they like beat the Cowboys or something to go 9-7 and make
But
the
didn't
playoffs.
he had a revenge game already and he like balled out, didn't he? Was it when he played the Redskins again or Commanders?
It had to have been.
Probably, but that's Washington.
He hasn't played Minnesota yet.
I don't know, man. I am kind of sick of Atlanta, but this might be another game where they just reel you back in. I'll take Atlanta here. All right. The New York Jets head to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Dolphins are -6.5, over under 45.5.
What's so funny?
Just the mention of the Jets.
I mean, they're a joke.
They're a joke. They should have won that game, man.
We took them last week too, and we were like, "Oh
Definitely.
yeah,
They
just win this game."
Well, the funny thing is, they definitely should have won that game.
Yeah,
They definitely should have won that game.
They're up 10 or 14, going in with a chance to make it 21. Rodgers misses Garrett Wilson on a great route. He has 8 yards of separation in the end zone. Completely misses him. Next play, third down. Defensive lineman drops back in the zone, pitch there, and then it's like a 3-point jam or 4-point jam.
I mean, like I understand that there's that there are worse teams that in the NFL than the Jets right now, but Jets fans like by far are having the absolute worst time.
Worse, yeah.
Like by far. Like there's no
definitely.
fan base.
Honestly, for
that is
10
just
for
in a
10
worse
minutes on
situation
Sunday,
right now.
for 10 minutes on Sunday, the Jets looked really good, and then it just all fell
The
apart.
first half,
I mean,
they
dude,
looked
they
really
can
good.
definitely really good. They can look really good for sure. They're fucking talented.
He was getting Devontae Adams the ball. I was like, this is looking vintage right now. And then it just
If
all
only in that
flipped.
fantasy league where I have Adams, like if only I didn't get knocked out the week before, my team had a great week.
I'm easily taking the Dolphins here. They should shit on them.
I am also
Yeah,
taking the Dolphins here.
Taking the Dolphins.
All right. Next game. The New Orleans Saints head to the Meadowlands to take on the Giants. Giants are +4.5 at home, over under 40.5.
This is the grossest game.
Saints and move on.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
+4.5 at home is nuts.
To the Saints.
I know, to the Saints. Yeah, I'm forced to take the Saints. I can't fathom ever taking the Giants.
There's
here.
some good games of football this week, but then there's games like this, and they make me want to just cry. Like, that's awful.
Well, I mean, that's what happens, right? You get a bunch of really good matchups, and then you got to take these bad ones because there's way too many good ones. So the dog shit teams are what's left, and they have to play each other.
I don't know if I've heard of a game sounding worse than Saints Giants. Like, if you gave me free tickets to Saints Giants on Sunday, I don't think I'm going.
I probably wouldn't go.
No.
I'm like, ew, I'm not driving out.
That's probably what they're going to have to do.
Oh.
They're probably going to have to give these tickets away to get people in there.
It's like, yeah, I just have to stand in the cold and watch a 12-10 game happen. Whoopee.
Yeah, I got a free ticket to Giants Pats last year, and it was like
13-7.
I'll go to hang out with my cousins, but like, am I dying to go to this game?
No.
It wasn't worth the traffic getting out of Meadowlands afterwards after watching a 10-7 football game.
That and Gillette are just so stupid to try to get out of after the fact.
Yeah, I've never been to Gillette, but I've heard it's like
I've never
bad.
been for a Patriots game, but
It's real bad.
definitely.
Did you
I
go
can't
for the
imagine
Winter
it being
Classic?
good. No, I've been for no, the Winter Classic was it was like $400 a ticket and like nosebleeds. I have gone for like New England Revolution games. That's pretty much it.
Oh yeah.
All right. Next game. We got a good one here. The Seattle Seahawks head to Arizona and take on the Cardinals. Cardinals minus 2.5 at home. Over under 44.5.
I mean, it's a pretty simple formula. If the Cardinals want to win, or if they want to get in the playoffs, they have to win this game. So
This is a very important game.
Arizona Cardinals are my pick. I'm backing the boys.
I'm gonna take Seattle.
Come on.
I just don't see. Yeah, I knew you'd be surprised, dude. I just don't. I really want Arizona
That
to.
was so bad.
I really want them to make the playoffs, dude. But I just feel like it's just not gonna work out for them.
You're actually really homo for doing that because you've been on the Cardinals all fucking year, and then you do this now. That's like really annoying, to be honest.
Sal, I'm with you.
Yeah, it's depressing. I don't know. I'm kind of depressing.
I've been on Arizona recently. I've liked how they played, and look, they have a shot here. This is a real shot, and you're at home.
They should have won this week. They should have beat Minnesota.
If they beat Minnesota this week, they'd be in a such better position.
Dude, that game they played against the Seahawks a couple weeks ago, that was the worst game ever. That
worst game ever.
16-6 game.
This is going to be this is going to be a complete 180 from that game, though. I think this game.
Scoring?
Yeah, I think it's high scoring, and I think like both of these teams really want to win. Not that they didn't want to win before, but like this is like it matters just that much more this time.
NFC West games are weird.
They are.
There's one. Oh, I like the Minnesota Atlanta over. I want that on the record.
Oh, eh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Next game. The Chicago Bears head to San Fran to take on the 49ers. 49ers minus 3.5 at home, over under 44.5. Talk about teams that are just in the shitter right now. The 49ers are just in the blend.
It's a Super Bowl handover. That's all it is.
That game,
Super Bowl handover.
That game against Buffalo, they wanted to get their hot cocoa and just go crawl into bed and just forget this game ever happened.
Can you guys console me about the use check fumble, because that hurt?
Yeah, you were one use check touchdown away from cashing a big ticket.
Dude,
that sucks.
And he fumbles on the 1 yard line.
I don't know what. I was just like, you know what? Use check is just gonna score randomly in this game for no reason.
It's a good pull for sure.
Gets the ball, gets it punched out at the 1/2 line, bro. What are the chances of that? If he just got tackled, it would have been damn, that sucks. But to get it ripped.
Oh, that's a horrible beat.
Oh, the game has never been shut off faster in my life. I was like, there's zero chance after this. Literally,
the only thing
zero.
The snow is the only reason that game was even slightly entertaining. Because if it wasn't snowing and they won 35-10, that would have been the most boring game. But Christian McCaffrey, RIP.
When I watched the opening drive, it was like, oh, the 49ers might win this game. I was just like, oh, this. I don't know why the spread was 6.5, and then all of a sudden it's 14-3 Bills, and I'm just like, oh shit.
The Bills are fun, dude. The Bills are fun. The Bills are one of the best teams in the league, and I can confidently say are Super Bowl contenders. Which maybe in the beginning of the year you wouldn't have said that, but you could say it now because they're very fun.
I stayed at home.
Christian McCaffrey, I don't know. Do we ever see him again? His legs are done, bro.
In the obituary this week, next to the Bengals, you can put Christian McCaffrey as well. It can be a double obituary.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he's just gonna turn into a goal line guy if he ever comes back.
He'll turn into Rico Dowdle when he comes back.
Ew.
Yeah.
All right. That all being said, 49ers minus 3.5. Yeah.
Yep. Oh no! Bears. Coach fired. First name. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get all that, but I don't know.
The 49ers are the correct pick, but I never go against this. Bears.
Yeah.
Plus 3.5.
And it's the Bears.
40.
You love the Bears.
Yeah.
49ers.
I'm taking the 49ers. I do get the whole coach thing. This game is. If the Bears won this game, I would not be surprised. The 49ers are down the gutter. But also the Bears are down the gutter. And that being said, the 49ers could still win the NFC West. So whatever. The Buffalo Bills head to SoFi, take on the Rams. Rams are plus 4.5 at home, over under 49.5. This is an interesting line, an interesting matchup. When in recent years have we seen these teams play?
The Rams and the 49ers?
No, the Rams and Bill.
I don't know. I feel like I kind of remember them playing each other 4 years ago.
They played each other on opening night 4 years ago.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like these teams have gone through a lot of changes in the last 4 years. I feel like this is like an
for sure.
I feel like this is such an interesting matchup. I don't really know who to take here. My head is telling me to take the Bills, but like the Rams, like Hungry Dog might run faster here.
Yeah, no,
I like the Rams here.
I definitely think it's a tough pick. I'm gonna stick with the Bills.
The Rams, in theory, should be a lot hungrier than the Bills, but the Bills want to keep pace with the Chiefs.
Over.
Yeah.
I like that too.
High scoring game.
I'm going to take the Bills. Against my better judgment, I'm going to take the Bills.
Rams.
Antonio, who did you pick? Sorry, I missed it.
The Bills.
Okay. Next game, the Sunday night game. The LA Chargers head to the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are minus 3.5 at home, over under 42.5. I love this game, and I'll tell you why. The Chargers are winning this game. This isn't the most confident I've been in a pick, but it is second. Whatever I was most confident in before, I think it was the Packers a few weeks ago that I was the most confident in. I am so confident that the Chargers are going to win this game.
Dude, they definitely could. This is a really tough game to pick.
Sal, I was very close to making this my lock of the year.
Game of the year?
I've been very good at
That's it. It's my game of the year.
Game of the year.
The Chargers are winning this game.
Wow.
And Chargers money line. I don't even want the 3.5. I want the money line.
Nolan Sheehan has never done a game of the year in the history, and today he's pulling it out.
I'm pulling it out.
I think this year more than any year, like, I don't know, in years past, I've picked a lot of games of like, who I really want to win or cover this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely haven't been doing that as much this year. Like, I've been going against my own interests a lot. And it's one of those games where I want to go against the Chargers. And I feel like it's going to work out if I do. But, dude, like, the Chargers could definitely win this game. I think they're a tough kind of matchup for the Chiefs.
They're a tough matchup for the Chiefs. They always give the Chiefs a hard time. And this year, they're actually good. Like, in previous years, they have not been good, and they'll give the Chiefs, like, a random loss. This year, like, they're actually good. They're, 2 games behind this team? Or 3 games?
So I think, I think they lose to this team. It's either this team or the Steelers that they're losing to.
Yeah.
They're not losing to both. They play the Texans too. That could be a really tough game for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs have a really tough schedule. I definitely could see them losing.
Dude. They play the Broncos the last game of the season too.
They are losing at least one game between now and the end of the year, and I'm most confident that they lose this game.
Yeah, I don't know if they lose it this week. I think I'm gonna pick the Chargers though, because close games is what both these teams do.
And I want it on the record that my game of the year pick was moneyline. I do not want, if the Chargers end up covering this game and losing, it does not count as a win.
You don't want credit. You don't want credit.
I do not want credit if they cover.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking the spread because I could totally see KC winning on a damn field goal.
I'm a simpleton. I don't have a strong lean on this game, and if my friend says game of the year, I will be taking their game of the year. So Chargers plus 3.5.
I love that.
That's kind of how I feel. I don't have a strong lean either. So, but we're all together.
Nolan rides us to the destiny.
I will take us to the promised land. All right. Last game of the week. The Cincinnati Bengals head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. As icky as this game is, I feel like this could end up being a good.
Dude, this is the best icky game I've ever seen.
Cincinnati is minus 5.5 on the road, over under 49.5.
So
If
the
you
Bengals
just
win this game and then get in the playoffs. Is that what we're gonna say this week?
Yes.
no, I think it's just like if you want just like a popcorn football game that doesn't really have any stakes, like this is like the game.
Yeah, this is like the Super Bowl of bad teams. Honestly,
Seriously,
Yeah.
this
I
is
mean,
like the best bad team.
this was my Super Bowl prediction before the season. These two teams.
That's crazy.
Dude, I hate
Yeah.
when people like every year I'm like people are overpicking the Cowboys and then someone does and I'm like, oh, what are you doing?
I only picked them because I was like, it's gonna be like some weird team.
Yeah, no,
I
I
never
understand.
never liked the 49ers, and I wasn't taking the Lions or the Packers. So I was like, I gotta think outside the box here. I went NFC East. I was wrong. If I picked Washington, that would have been crazy.
Well, what sucks about the Bengals in this game is like, well, what's going to suck about the Bengals in every game from here on out is like they're not a bad team. Like they're not like a Carolina. They're not like a Raiders. Like they are a good team, and we know that they're a good team. It's just their defense is so bad.
This is gonna be a ridiculous thing to say, but do they even care? Like, are they even gonna try in these last 5 games, 6 games?
It's going to be tough for them to care for sure.
Well, I don't know. I think Jamar Chase likes his stats and he's definitely gonna try.
Oh, he
Both
wants to get
receivers.
paid. I forgot
He wants to
about
get
that.
paid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think their offense is still gonna be.
They're going to be humming
I don't
for
know.
sure against this
Over.
Dallas defense too. I mean, this Dallas defense played good against the Giants last week, but that was the Giants. Like this is a whole different caliber. They're going to have their hands full. I love the over in this game. I don't know why
Yeah.
it's only 49.5. I guess maybe because Dallas sucks so bad that this is 49.5, but
I'll take the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm still taking the Bengals spread.
yeah, me too. I mean, they're making the playoffs still. All right, pick 3. Sal with a back-to-back offer. We can't have that, Sal.
No, not a. Did I really?
You did.
No.
You had Miami plus 3.5, Cincinnati -3, and KC -12.5.
Oh, 3 horrible picks.
Not your best work.
Whoa.
Did I have
Me-
Kansas City as well?
No, me and Antonio went 2-1. Antonio had Green Bay -3.5, Buffalo -6.5, Baltimore -3. I also went 2-1. I had Arizona
I
plus
took
3.5.
Baltimore, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, dude, do you know what it was? I think I was all of a sudden like, because I loved the Eagles, and I think someone mentioned Lamar is losing against NFC quarterbacks, and I was just a sucker. That's fucking annoying.
yep. And then I had Washington -5.5, and I had the over in the Rams and Saints game. Worst pick ever, but my only loss. So that brings our totals. I am 20-19, great year. Antonio is 19-20, great year. Sal is 16-23. We have some work to do, Sal. We got to get back on the horse.
Yeah, not two back-to-back offers is not.
Do you have yours ready?
No, never. But
Okay.
I'll go.
I'll go first then. No. You get set. I'll go first.
I'll go.
No, I'm going first. Miami -6.5. Chargers plus 3.5. And I was so confident in it, I'm going to take it still. Might be my worst pick ever. Carolina plus 12.5.
Wow.
I like that. I like that pick 3 this week. So, all right, go ahead, Antonio.
I also have Miami. Even though this is like it sounds like I'm trapping myself, especially putting this in a pick 3, because I still said Detroit is probably going to win this game, and I picked Green Bay spread.
Mm-hmm.
I just think this is going to be one of those games, man, where it's like the absolute last minute. I got Green Bay plus 3.5. My pick 3 as I don't know, as odd as that may be. I don't really have like another one that really, really sticks out. So this is kind of tough.
Pulling a Sal on us.
Definitely not. Definitely not Cincinnati, bro. Fuck that.
Yeah, I've taken Cincinnati enough. I've beaten that horse to death.
I don't know. Dude, I'll take I don't love it, but I'll throw the Bills in there with a 4-point spread. Like they could easily win that game by 4.5 points.
All right. Here we go, Salvatore. Let's get back on the fucking horse here.
We're gonna call an audible. We're gonna go over in Atlanta and Minnesota, 45.5.
Love it.
Need some sort of change of mojo. I'm gonna take the Cardinals because I've been a Cardinals believer all year, and this is not the time to give up hope. So Cardinals -2.5. I don't know. I don't know about the third one. I really don't.
I like this though.
Yeah,
This
it's
is what
weird.
you this is what
'Cause,
you
like,
normally do.
There's tough games.
This is what he normally does though, so I like this.
All right, I just to stay consistent. It's such a bad pick. Chicago plus 3.5.
Yeah, it's weird because there's not like a lot of games that stand out to me.
I
right
don't
now,
love
gambling-wise
anything
this week,
I
but
don't.
it's a good set of games. Like,
It's a good set
a
of
lot of these
games.
games are going to be very entertaining.
Yeah, I don't really have a strong lean on many of these jams, but I'll take the Bears in the coach fired spot. Also seems like a very short line, which is a little weird.
I like this, Sal. I like this out of you.
Need a little change of mojo, so let's see it.
I think where you got into trouble was I think back-to-back weeks you were going head-to-head with Antonio, but now you're not. So I like that.
I'll still steer clear of his black magic, whatever's going on over there.
Yeah, he's got something.
Yeah.
All right.
Force.
Touchdown scorer.
Justin Jefferson.
Cam Newton. I don't know. Let's see. Who was my touchdown scorer last week? Did I say Adam Thielen?
Yeah.
Might have.
Yeah, I think you did.
I think I did because I think it was.
Good
I had
poll.
some reason.
Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna do it again this week. Adam Thielen. Because I need it.
Who do I want to do this week? Pause. I'm gonna take the Isaac Guerrero guy.
Newton.
Is that his? How do you say his last name?
Garundo. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll take Jimmy Garoppolo to score a touchdown this week.
Yes, sir.
All right, gentlemen. Until next time.